is UTL?
UTL. That is Uganda Telecom. These are some of the buildings that Idi Amin left. Yeah, that have been built for the telecom company for the nation. This one here, one along Old Portugal Road. Yeah. So this is the Bank of Uganda on the left-hand side. You can call it the central bank. The Bank of Uganda is also started up way back in 1967. It is only responsible for monitoring the money bodies, the monetary policies, and also the control all the commercial banks. Yeah, and then on to the right is the East African Development Bank. This is put in place under the East African Cooperation Treaty of 1967. And then we drive.
Was among who and who?
East African countries. Now we drive through the Constitutional Square, which majority of the Ugandans call City Square. So Constitutional Square is a symbol of national unity, and originally it was called City Square, not until 1995 when Uganda amended its constitution. It was renamed from City Square to Constitutional Square. It is a public park, though currently because of security reasons, people are restricted from gathering here. And then on to the right hand side we have the Court of Appeal, the Supreme Court and the High Court. And then we have a statue there or a monument, the black and white monument.
Yes.
So that black and white monument, if you have a 5,000 Uganda shillings note, you can also bring it out. I want to show you that monument. It is called the World War Monument. World War Monument is put in place in memory of the Ugandans who fought and died during the two world wars fighting on behalf of the British. But when you get it, of course, you will be able to see that. And then we drive into the downtown Kampala. This is one of the 7 hills. It is called Nakasero Hill. Nakasero from the word Akasero, the basket. Initially in 1885, we had one king of Uganda called Kabaka Mwanga II, who had his Mengo Palace burnt, and then he wanted to have a lake dug to connect Mengo to Munyonyo, the lake that we studied about, the Kabaka's lake. Now, in the process of digging that lake, people are using hands and using baskets to remove the mud. And that's why they would carry their baskets and come and sleep over on this hill. And people would be wondering where they are going with the baskets, and people would say that bagendere ku kasozi na kasero. They are going to the hill with the basket. So the hill is na kasero, with the basket. Now, we just saw Pioneer Mall, a very new building there behind, and that building is known to have been the very first mall in Uganda, like the name, Pioneer. It was the pioneer of all the malls in Uganda.
Oh wow.
Now this is Kampala Road. Kampala Road, still the main highway connecting Uganda to other highways. And then to the right, we see Luparelia Group on the right here. But this building way back was known as Drapers.
Is it not Crane Bank?
No, it was called Drapers way back in the 70s. It was the first departmental store we had in Uganda. But right now it is called Crane Chambers. And then still on the right, we see Church House. It is an Anglican church building, but housing Equity Bank. And then still where we see the billboard with LG, that was called Greenland Bank and Greenland Towers. That is the name, but you remember that the saga of how Greenland Bank.
Yes, it was closed.
Yeah, so we can't go deep into that, so we stick to tourism.
Okay.
Now we're driving to downtown Nakasero. Now, whenever someone says, I'm going to downtown, This is what they refer to as downtown. And then we see City House on the right. Majority of the Indians that were sent out of this area from Uganda during the time of Idi Amin, most of them track their history around this very street, William Street. Yes. And then we join into another street that we see cutting across, which is called Loom Street. Now, onto your right and onto your left, this is supposed to be a no car or no motor zone. No borders, no cars. But of course, you know, we make the laws and we break them. And Loom Street is named after Janan Luwum, who is believed to have been killed under orders of Idi Amin. But before it was named Loom Street, it was known as Aldina Vislam Street. From Aldina Vislam, who was the first Asian to start up a business in Uganda, it was named Bokassa Street, and then from Bokassa Street to Loom Street. Mola Morgan. Now, onto the left is Uganda's oldest market. This market is called Nakasero Market. Nakasero Market was started by the British in 1895. That was at Mengo Palace. In 1905, it was moved to Makerere Hill. And in the year 1927, it was brought here. So it has been here since 1927, and this market is mainly selling fresh foods, fresh vegetables, right from the market, from the garden, to the market. And remember, here in Uganda, majority of the people prefer fresh things. And if food is in the market for more than 3 days, the prices tend to go lower. And the fresh ones, the prices tend to go to be higher because people here prefer taking fresh things. And of course, I can say Uganda is the food basket of East Africa because of the fertile soils and rains that we always experience within our country. Now, we are going deep into downtown Kampala, as we are already in the downtown, but then you're going to the area which is called the taxi park. And the taxi park is a place where people come to get the public means of transport to go to the different parts of Uganda. Taxi, different from what you may call taxi out of Uganda, because a taxi in Uganda, one minibus like that one is authorized to carry 14 passengers. I said authorized, I didn't say it carries. Those two are different while here in Uganda, because even where we see the signage no parking, we obviously park. And that's why when you look at our taxis, they have a writing just on the door that says licensed to carry 14. But the operator of the taxi has 100% the rights of how many passengers he can take. And while here from the taxi park, there are different stages whereby if you're going to a specific area, all you need to do is just to come around this area, you read the poster, and then you walk to the point which has a signage of your destination. And then you enter into that taxi, and that taxi will be able to take you to your destination. And usually there is the cost of your trip before you actually sit in the van. When you read on top of the taxi, it says this place, and then it shows the cost. And basically that is the taxi park. And we have 6 taxi parks, with this old taxi park being the biggest and the main one that we have.
So how many taxis do we expect in here?
What is this
for?
area?
Yes.
I would say maybe 1,000.
Wow.
So that is a taxi. So totally different from what you call taxi.
Yes.
And remember, these people drive according to what they think is right, not to what is right. And this part of town is what I call the organized chaos. But remember, this is still hill number 1, Nakasero.
This is still Nakasero.
Let me peel on that side, you know. Jayo. Yamote Kenya waliboda. So on to your right is a street market, but it's mainly selling second hand.
This is only second hand.
So if you ask Ugandans what is so famous about this area, mini price, they'll tell you about the robbery. Phone snatching, because of the chaos that is always here during rush hours.
Is there a butter, also butter shoes used to be here? Butter shoes.
Yes, the butter shop somewhere there.
Is it, I don't think it's still there.
No.
Do they even put on butter shoes? Are they still in existence?
Yes, they're still in existence, but I don't think majority of the people put them on.
Are those the t-shirts you want?
The Ugandan one.
The Ugandan one? Yeah. Have you seen it there? I don't
No,
see
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
The Uganda ones, they're there.
They are there.
Yeah.
You want to?
So this is Ben Chwanuka Street, named after one of the prime ministers of Uganda, Benedicto Chwanuka. from this place, it is where you get to understand the other statement of everybody drives according to what they think is right. No following rules, everybody's doing his thing.
So to drive a motorbike or boda, do you have to get a license?
Not every, actually, it is interesting. Majority of the boda riders in Uganda don't have license. Yeah. And they actually don't have the documents that can put them on the road. I told you we make the laws and we break them. And this building on to your right is mainly selling kitchenware. Now look at that one. Pushing 4 containers. A dustbin.
Yeah.
And around this area, it is called Arua Park. Oh, sorry. So Arua Park is known to be a place where you find a lot of youth taking drugs, of course, which is not good well, but I think there is kind of no regulations around this street. Though majority of the people who are here mainly coming from West Nile and northern Uganda. So this has just been the most crowded part of the city. So we now drive into the most loud place in the city.
Loud by what? What is loud there?
What is loud where we are going? Mainly music.
Okay.
Because they are selling like music systems. Yeah. And then also it's a place where we find a lot of auto spare parts.
Okay.
And the place is called Chiseka Market.
So in Uganda we assemble cars.
Yes, we currently have a plant where people do the assembling of cars, and that is the Chira Motors, the manufacturers of Kayola buses, and then also we have some other Chinese brands. Yeah, they're also being assembled here. Now this is Chiseka Market.
Down here.
Yes. And that's where you see a lot of music.
Is this the loudest part?
Now, when you look onto your right, that is where they do all the auto spare parts. And if you park your car in here, you're able to come back and buy your spare parts again.
There is no parking anyways. This is where you park.
And actually, this was a river. This was a river,
Okay.
but it's currently a channel.
Do you know that there is a lake, you said, Kabakas Lake?
Yes.
Where is it?
It is behind the
going to go there.
Close to it,
Close
maybe.
Isn't the palace among the things you
Yes,
do?
yes, it is.
Yeah, and the lake.
The lake is right behind it. You'll see.
Okay.
Yeah. So we can officially say
This is another hill.
we are on Kampala Hill,
Ah.
and we have now been to Kampala.
Okay. The other one was Nakasero
The
Hill.
other one was Nakasero Hill, and right now we have made it
To
Kampala Hill. And therefore you can only say you have been to Kampala only if
you've been
you
on
have
this
been
hill.
to Kampala.
Ah.
Now, when the British came here, they camped on the Hill of Impalas. Now, as they camped on the Hill of Impalas, they built their fort on this hill in 1890. And they couldn't say Kasozi Kampala, but they could only say Kampala.
Yes.
And that's why the area was named Kampala. And the first town of Kampala was built here by the British, who later on invited the Indians that came to construct the Uganda-Kenya railway line. And once they made it here, they built the first town around this place. And that became the first town of Kampala. And later on, when the city kept on expanding, people moved from this area going to Nakasero and some other hills, so that people referred to this place as the oldest part of Kampala city. And that's why this is no longer called Kampala by the locals. They know it as Old Kampala. And that's even a point that if you ask someone that where does Kampala start, they don't know. But what we call Kampala is where we are right now. So this is Kampala Hill in Kampala city. And if you look at it, it looks much more organized, of the different streets that you see all around, connecting all the different points. But as you know, we have disorganized it, and that's how it looks like. Old Kampala, or you can call it Kampala Hill. Yeah. So this was the first town.
The mosque.
So we are now getting close to the Gaddafi Mosque, which is the biggest mosque in East Africa, third biggest Africa. And if you'd like to visit, it is also possible.
Yeah.
Enter inside and also go to the top of the tower,
Yes.
where you can get the best 360-degree view of the entire Kampala city.
Wow.
Yes.
Is that, do you have to pay to get in?
Yes, there is you buy a ticket.
And how much is a ticket to the Gaddafi Mosque?
For the locals, it is 10,000 Uganda shillings. And this is the first police post in Kampala. The old Kampala police post. But then in Uganda, the oldest is the Entebbe police post. So, this point is the origin of the city. And you see this road, which we are joining? It is called Old Kampala Road. It goes around of the entire hill. And all the roads that are going out of Kampala, they all connect to this point. If you're going into the downtown, you use this road. If you're connecting to the Bombo Road, Masaka Highway, Hoima, Entebbe Road, most of these roads, they are starting from this very point, going round. So this is Old Kampala School. It used to be a school only for Indians, but right now it is for everyone. This one here on the right. And then on the left is the Fort Lugard. That is the fort of the British. This little house on the right, on the left, sorry. So that is Fort Lugard. That is where Uganda was declared a British protectorate in 1894. Yes.
That school you said is called
Old Kampala primary school.
And over here,
Yes.
Bernard,
What
they
do you have
have
here?
Costco.
Not the Costco.
It's not the Costco. Costco. Okay, don't say the Costco.
But not the Costco, you know.
Okay,
The Ugandan Costco.
the Ugandan one.
this is a Gaddafi mosque.
Yes.
Okay.
So we're just going to move out from here.
Yeah.
Then we're going to the office. They are going to be given scarves to cover. The two ladies. And then we have a walk inside the mosque. And we also go to the top of the tower.
Yeah, we did it in Turkey.
You did it?
Yeah, in Turkey there is a mosque in Turkey which is a
Oh.
tourism.
The blue mosque?
Yes, you have to cover yourself. In fact, not just covering, they even have a gown. Yeah, I didn't put it.
Okay, so let us come down.